Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm doing 10 tips for DayZ 1.17. Now, it hasn't exactly been easy because there's not a lot of changes from 1.16, but there are a few that stuck out, so I thought I would put it together and see what you think. Some of these are really looking at things that have been nerfed and kind of pointing out areas that I consider not worth visiting, so you may as well make a beeline for better looting locations. Alright, let's get going. Tip 1. These little lodges that you can find in different locations across the map now have hunting equipment. So for example, this new hunter vest can be found here in this location, along with things like binoculars. If we go across to here, look, we've got a gun cleaning kit and a heat pack, survival type loot, which is very handy and actually makes these locations probably worth stopping at, especially early mid-game. Tip 2. It's definitely worth checking when you see a sporter on the ground whether it's got a scope on it now. So for example, here we have the hunting scope on the sporter. Now this has just come back in with this patch. It certainly hasn't been around recently. So definitely if you see a sporter, don't just run away from it, which is obviously a natural response. Just double check and see if it's got the hunting scope on it, because to be honest, they're pretty rare and this is now a really good way of finding one. Tip 3. I'm certainly finding a lot more loot in zombies. Usually drinks, so things like cans. What have we got here? Just killed. They've got some dried fruit, vegetable there. Another one. Seems like food and drinks are now much more things, so definitely worth taking down some zombies if you need food or drink. Tip 4. Still we have a situation where high spaces really are a waste of time. Let's take a look at a few. Just across in that building over there, that industrial building, nothing apart from a bit of clothing. We've got these walkways here. It'd be really cool if they put some loot in these, but nothing. We're on top a silo. Nothing. Factory buildings. Nothing. We're up that chimney with these cool panels all busted and beaten up. Nothing. Nothing up here. In fact, there's nothing over there either. In fact, there is one bit over here. It's a helmet. It's not even worth it. Often, if there is any loot on these structures, it tends to be industrial. And who really needs that? What they need to do is put some better loot up at these locations. I think we'll all be a lot happier. Used to get better stuff up here, not anymore. Tip 5. I've given this tip before, but it still counts, and it's still one that I find people overlook. These sandbags with the roof, this wooden roof, will often spawn guns and ammo. I found a box of ammo on this side, and here, a Colt with a suppressor. Pretty cool. And actually, they're all over the map, these little secret locations where I'm finding loot. So, this whole area down here is looted, that whole area over there is looted, but that is left. So definitely worth checking. And I've come back again, different time, different server, and here we go. We've got a gun, Colt there, and the sights, the Cobra sights there. It's a great... Tip 6. There are now hunter infected. They're usually wearing hunter gear like this guy here. This is one of them. And some of them even have hunter's backpacks on. So you can find these out away from towns in these kind of little isolated places. This is a single house just in the countryside. And you can see here. This guy here, he's got a hunter backpack, 63 slots with a low profile. One of the best backpacks in the game, and it's green. And we consider, if you look at this tactical backpack, it's got 63 slots. Look at the size of it on me. Really want to get rid of that and swap that out for this one. This is just a little house in the middle of nowhere, so there's a much better chance of hunter loot spawning in these sorts of locations. Tip 7 carries on from the last tip. If you're looking for the longhorn, you're not going to find it in cities or towns. This is what I've found. What I've discovered is you need to go to these locations where this hunter loot is spawning. So with this zombie that's dressed out as a hunter, we just took his backpack. In here, in his little house, on the floor in the corner here, is the longhorn. Just there. Beautiful. Takes the Winnie rounds. It's pretty devastating. It's a beautiful weapon. Tip 8. Is it worth looting castles? Well, interestingly, they seem to have a throwback from some of the Halloween events that have been placed at these locations in the past. So, for example, you have the cauldron, you've got the broom in here. These were specific items that they spawned in for these events, and they seem to have stayed the same. You've got a cleaning kit here, which is obviously really valuable. And there's some ammo at the top of the tower. Not a lot else. And I guess there are one or two unique items that you can find here. But is it worth coming here? I don't think it is. They're in the middle of nowhere. Unless you're on the way somewhere, then I wouldn't recommend coming to loot the castles. Tip 9. Probably the best place to pick up meds is at this decontamination zone in the northeast airport or airstrip. It's just by Berezino. Come across the airstrip there. You've got these entrance tents, these tunnels, and usually there's stuff down here. And then you've got these tents that also have stuff at the back. Now, I have featured this location before in tips, but it's still brilliant. Still recommend it. If you're near Berezino, it's not far. And, you know, if you get ill and you're anywhere in this zone, head here. You can generally pick up some medicine. It's also a hotspot, so you may see some bodies. Or you may end up getting into a fight, getting some loot that way. So it's not a bad place to come. Tip 10. Unfortunately, it seems like they've nerfed deer stands. Now, we've found some really good loot in these locations in the past, but the last 10 I've been up, I've found pretty much nothing. Random items of clothing, maybe some food like these peanuts here. Nothing really good, no scopes or any good clothing. Now, I'm not sure whether they've taken all the hunting equipment out, but I'm finding that it's less and less worth coming to these spots, especially seeing. You tend to leave yourself a bit vulnerable sometimes. See, we've got another one here. And what have we got in here? A cap. Alright, we've got another deer stand here. Let's have a look. And we've got a hat. I'm finding a lot of hats. I think that's what I'm finding. Really not very useful. So there are my 10 tips for 1.17. If you have any comments or feel like you disagree, please put them in down below. I'd like to see people's feedback. And if you're not subscribed already, it'd be awesome if you could. We're approaching 18,000 subs, and it would be great if we could get that done by the end of the month. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch up with you soon.